I hope you all are ready because today I'm going to have a chat with Top Tier Beads and it's going to be awesome. Stay tuned for more. Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. This is Nostalgic Nick-Nacks and my name is Ryan. This is my perler beading retro gaming YouTube channel. I'm happy to be here and I'm so pleased to be bringing you part one of my chat with Top Tier Beads. It was actually so great that I had to split it up into part one and part two. If you have never ordered from Top Tier Beads, and by the end of this conversation, you love what they have to say and you want to try out their product, then please click the description below and get 15% off your first order with Top Tier Beads. So check that out below and let's get into this fantastic beading conversation. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the video today. And I have some very good friends with me. I have Jaz and Scott from Top Tier Beads, and I'm so excited. We're gonna have a great conversation about their business, about how they do things, how they develop a community around perler beading, around top tier beading, and I really enjoy talking with them, so I'm happy to share this with all of you out there. So we're gonna go ahead and start. I've got lots of great questions, and I know that you guys have some great answers. So do you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves to the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Jasmine. I have everybody call me Jaz. And I'm so excited to be here talking with you, Ryan. You know, we've spoken previously, and I love your videos so much.
Thank you.
So really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. And yeah, I love fuse beads, and I'm more than happy to dive into everything. And Scott, do you have anything to?
Yeah, so I'm Scott. Yeah, really happy to be talking with you again, Ryan. I really love everything you're doing with your channel, and I've just loved seeing it grow over the past year, and you know, just really excited to do our interview with you here. I'm excited to talk more about the business.
Awesome. Well, I know that the audience is going to love this, and people just love podcasts and just seeing people have conversations. And I think there's a lot more conversations that can be had between people, especially between businesses like yours and people that love to buy from you. I mean, I see lots of great communication on Facebook. People just responding and you guys responding. So I think people need to know who you are. And I'm surprised you said this is the first interview you guys have done?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah. We've done some live streams before,
Okay.
but never anything like this, so it's really exciting for us.
Oh, good. Good. Well, we'll go ahead and kick it off, and I want you guys to be superheroes for a second, and I want you to tell me, what is your origin story? How did you wake up one day and then a bead came rolling down the street, and then you say, and you pick it up and you say, I'm going to be a bead supplier. I love beads. How did it go? What happened?
Oh my gosh. You know what, Ryan? It's like you're reading my mind. That's exactly how it happened. You know, it just came through my roof like a meteor, and I was just like, oh my God, this is my calling. But in all seriousness, you know, so Scott and I launched Top Tier Beads in September 2020. But my journey with fuse beads actually started several years earlier. So I'd already been working full-time as a fuse bead artist selling on Etsy, and I was showcasing my work at swap meets. Actually, if anybody's familiar with this in the Chicago area, there's an arcade called Galloping Ghost,
Ooh.
which at that time, if not still, is actually one of the biggest arcades in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Really incredible place. And so I was lucky enough to have their support. I sold them several pieces, and again, they invited me to their swap meet to show off my art, and that was such a cool experience. And then also I would have booths at various video game conventions. So actually my passion for fuse beads, though, started in the late 2010s at a fighting game convention called Combo Breaker, also in the Chicago area. And that's actually where I first saw fuse bead art. And You know, I've been a gamer ever since I was old enough to pick up a controller, so that's where my heart is. I just have a special love for video games,
Yeah,
and so video sprites as well, naturally, which is another reason why I'm happy to be collaborating with you, Ryan, because I know that's a passion of yours as well.
absolutely.
Um, and so I was just so inspired by the pieces that people were making that I started creating my own, and soon my business grew out from that. And then when I met Scott in 2018, and I talked to him about all the challenges that I faced sourcing high quality fuse beads online, and so it was only natural that we expanded into selling the beads themselves.
Yeah, and so when we started TopTierBeads in 2020, that's when we started TopTierBeads, but I had been selling things online a little bit earlier than that. I actually started 5 years ago, before 2020, so around 2015, I got hired at a local startup that was selling rave gear online, so, I already had experience with candy and all that type of stuff. And so I started out as a customer service rep, worked my way up to managing the whole e-commerce department, and before long I was on the board of directors and really helping the company to scale worldwide. And so I really learned the ins and outs of running an online business and just really how to scale it from the smallest, start to, really just having a worldwide multi-million-dollar presence. And so then when COVID hit, I started working from home. And,
Right here, actually, right in
working
this
from home
building.
in this warehouse and looking around and dreaming and thinking, why don't I just do this myself? And, why don't I just start selling things out of this warehouse we happen to have? And so, Jaz was already passionate about fuse beads. I was already helping her to pack and ship her orders. And so really kind of when we made that next step, it was just kind of natural that we went into selling fuse beads.
Wow. That's funny how things come together. You have your passions, and then suddenly one day an idea hits you, and you're like, "Oh, maybe I should do this." It's like it just hits you.
Yeah.
You know, something we say pretty often is we don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's sometimes you're drawn to things and it ends up being the best thing for you, and that's certainly the case with TopTierBeads.
Absolutely.
very cool, very cool. I do want to ask the question, Scott. Was it that as you got better with your e-commerce and growing businesses, that your beard got longer, and the longer it gets, the better you are?
Well, I mean, funny enough, that, I guess I did have a trim a couple months ago, but until that point for about 6 years, ever since I met Jasmine, she encouraged the beard. It was, about that big when she met me, and then, over the years, it's just grown to be as long as our relationship, and so I think it was down to about here before I finally got a little trim. It gets kind of hot here in Florida, so, this summer it was like, time for a little trim.
Right. Yeah, if you grow it a little longer, you could really play Gandalf. I mean, that's
yeah.
or any wizard, really. That's awesome. Very cool. Great story. And you guys tell it very well. You said that you always had creative pursuits. So I know for me, being a video game lover, always loving these characters, it was very easy. It was an extension of my love and passion for video games to create these characters. So similar to your story, Jaz. And do you feel like this is still a creative pursuit of yours, even though you're not necessarily making these projects, making these pieces of art? How is it a creative pursuit for you?
Well, that's a really great question. I do think it's creative, maybe not in the traditional sense. Yeah. But as far as how I feel about it being, I guess you could call it a creative pursuit. It's funny you mentioned video games earlier, because that's definitely where I would say my creativity lies. Honestly, I never thought of myself as an artist. I know that might sound funny to some people, but I've always identified more as a gamer. And actually, as a teenager, I found myself spending endless hours and hours and hours building in Minecraft's creative mode.
Yeah, cool.
And so I started making Pokemon sprites, just wool block by wool block. And that experience was just so soothing and so fun, but it was also really sad because I would spend hours doing this and then it was just in the digital realm.
Yeah.
And so I really wished that I had some way to bring it to life. And I found later that I actually get the same joy out of placing fuse beads, you know, bead by bead.
Yeah, that's great. You know,
So it's
yeah, go ahead.
From the digital to the real world for me. And yeah, it's just very therapeutic.
Awesome. I feel the same way, and I know so many out there do. I hear that over and over again. This is therapeutic. This is relaxing. It's supposed to be at peace, and that's really great. I think that fuse beading is something. I mean, I make stands all the time and display characters. So when you're able to see that, you're able to touch it. It means more than the digital side of things, which those are beautiful. But I mean, people make digital art all the time. It has value, but in my opinion, I feel like touching something, keeping something means something. That's just the generation I grew up in. You know, cartridges that you could hold and touch and put into the console. So I agree with that completely.
Scott, actually, did you want to answer that question?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, I mean, I actually got a bachelor's degree in digital media, and you know, so I've been kind of working surrounded by artists, you know, pretty much my whole life, and you know, I still help out a lot with, you know, building the website and editing content and making videos for TopTierBeads. So I think that's really kind of where my creativity shines. You know, a lot of it is spreadsheets nowadays, but you know, I still like to make videos where I can, and really I've just always been a fan of pixel art and classic gaming, and so, you know, when I mean, meeting Jaz through fuse beading, I think was just, you know, because I love pixel art, I love gaming, and you know, I love art.
That's great. Yeah, and that is something that is absolutely a creative pursuit, designing, making these online experiences happen. That's absolutely important. So going to the business, since we got a starting point here, a lot of people know about your business, but the question is, how hard is it to have a business, your own business? My dad is self-employed, and he's been self-employed for over 40 years. And he works into the construction part of the construction industry. What's your take? How is owning your own business? There's ups and downs, I know, but tell me your perspective.
Yeah, so you know, definitely every business has its challenges, but we really, you know, I've told Jasmine from the start as she was, you know, kind of explaining all the issues she had with fuse bead, you know, buying fuse beads online. I was explaining to her all the reasons that it's so hard to do that, and so but you know, I have enough experience to know what I was getting into, and you know, so I really handle kind of all of our back end, so the inventory management and the purchasing, the accounting, the coding, all those things that keep the gears turning. And you know, really that is one of our biggest challenges. I mean, for a company our size, managing, you know, over 500 different colors and sizes, it really is, you know, a monumental task. And so it's really been that has been what has allowed us to be set apart. You know, just every day we pick, pack, and ship literally hundreds of bags of beads, and we got to do it as fast as possible, and not one single bag out of those hundreds can be out of place, or else you'll have a customer who, you know, is not having a good day. So, you know, it's definitely difficult, but you know, what really makes it, I think, a lot easier is that we really do have an amazing team. You know, it's just a small team, 5 people right now, but you know, just the time we spent to find these folks has really paid off and just made it so much easier. You know, Justin and Michaela are really just all-stars that make it possible for us to fill all these orders, and Tori is really the one who helps other people find TopTierBeads, and you know, kind of help build this community that we're building here. So, you know, forever grateful to them. So as hard as it is, they really make it possible.
Yeah. Jaz, would you like to add anything?
Sure. I just want to start by saying thank you, Scott. You know, Scott is, he's a very quiet guy, and he's very much behind the scenes. I feel like I'm usually on the ground, and so I just want to say it would be a lot more difficult. Really, TopTierBeads would not be here without Scott, so thank you. But as far as for me, you know, running my own business has challenged me in some really unexpected ways. And I've had to develop such a wide range of skills that I didn't know I was capable of, and adapt and grow in ways that were not always easy. But I am really proud of the person I've become, you know, and it's a responsibility to ensure that everyone gets all the fuse beads they need at a fair price, while keeping every color in stock. I mean, that's huge. But I welcome that challenge, you know, because it has been transformative, and self-employment has absolutely changed my life. Just to be personal for a second, in the past, because I've worked a lot of different jobs. This is not my first time working, but I've always really struggled with it. Just so many things about it, the inflexibility, and just, I guess, lacking control over your own destiny, let's say. So being lucky enough to have our own warehouse and to be able to set my own schedule has just been a lifesaver. You know, our warehouse is right here on our property. Our house is right next door, so it's a nice. That's
amazing.
I'm very grateful.
Across the street.
Yeah, right. Not even. You know, and just it's so important to me.
Good. That's amazing. You know, there are pros and cons to having your own business, and on a micro level, as a teacher, I kind of have to manage things. It's kind of a classroom business. It's got parts of that, but also YouTube channel is kind of you know, you're managing something. You're talking to people. But I mean, that's amazing that both of you have skills that contribute, and it's like this half and this half, and you join together and you make such a beautiful thing happen. And of course, your employees, your friends, you know, it couldn't be done without them. So that's amazing. So you have 3 employees now?
Yeah, and I just want to say too, thank you so much for doing what you do as a teacher, because I mean, I feel like, you know, that is deserves the most appreciation out of everything, and that's, I think, one of the fun things about the job is that we get to work with, you know, with a lot of teachers. Actually, a lot of our customers are teachers and, you know, educators, and, you know, it really is, it's great to be able to work with y'all. So I'm really, you know, glad you're doing this.
Well, you know, I get better at it as I do it. I've been teaching for about 13 years, so I think I know a few things. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm thankful for all the teachers out there, and that's great that teachers are buying up beads. I love that. It's
a great classroom project, as you would know. Yeah,
I've done it. I've done it.
Have you really? That's awesome.
I'll do it again. Yeah, I did a Christmas Mario. Had a Santa Claus hat, you know, the standard Mario sprite with Santa Claus hat. And that was fun because every kid had a different expression on the Mario's face, even though they followed the exact pattern I had. They had a different expression because they placed the beads in the wrong places, and it was hilarious.
It's creative.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, who says you have to bead within the lines, right?
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Well, let us know next time you do that, because we would love to contribute. Absolutely.
Oh, well, awesome. Thank you. Yes. So going on to, you guys have had this business for how many years?
4 years.
4 years. So what trends are you noticing right now in the beading community, and how do you guys adapt to those trends? I know you have your Halloween sale, and you have other sales, but how do you really cater to a trend that you see, if that makes sense?
That's a great question. Yeah. So one thing I have noticed is that fuse bead art is evolving really fast. People are doing things these days that I did not see when I first started. And so that's just so incredible to see people treating it more like an artistic medium and just pushing the boundaries with new techniques. So one thing I've noticed is that people are blending fuse beads with other mediums. So, you know, a lot of people are painting canvases right now. And then also, of course, candy has been around for a while, but I feel like it's really leveling up just the way that people are able to combine their fuse bead art with pony beads and other types of touches. And even making 3D stuff, which is like, blows my mind. I'll be so honest right now. I cannot. Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Little Pokeball.
Oh yeah, and this too. Yeah.
That is so cool. I think that's a little bit bigger than mine.
Well, this is who
yeah,
made this?
This is Courtney. Koiga Collects on Instagram.
Beautiful.
Sent this to us.
It's so cool.
So yeah, just like that. And one way that we've been accommodating artists and also trying to help them take their art to the next level has been our launch of rainbow film that we started last year. And it's amazing to see what people are making with it. I just can't even believe how creative they are. I don't know if have you tried our rainbow film? Have you given it a shot?
I haven't. Tell me about it and tell other people out there about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So our rainbow film is actually, it's kind of like magic. I mean, you really just put it on top of your bead art and you iron it just like you usually would. And you just get this really incredible rainbow holographic effect. I mean, it's just really difficult to explain in words.
Maybe we'll be able to pick up some of it.
Yeah, we'll see. Because it's so tough, but yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, and outside in the light,
cool.
It's so much more vibrant. But I mean, you can see. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, nice. It's popped.
Oh yeah, I can see some sparkle there. That's cool.
Isn't that so cool? And
I like that.
It gives it this like really shiny and smooth texture too, which you can actually get this with our regular shiny ironing film, but this rainbow effect, I just think it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen people do with fuse beads. So I'm so happy that we can offer this product.
Very cool. And where can people find that?
It's on our website. Yep, it's our rainbow ironing film.
TopTierBeads.com.
Yeah, TopTierBeads.
There you go.
That's right.
That's awesome. And by the way, really great shirts you guys have there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cool. Scott, did you have anything you wanted to add about trends or?
Yeah. So
or really even online businesses or trends with online businesses, social media.
Yeah, so it's definitely been really interesting to just kind of see the growth of fuse bead art in the past few years. I mean, like Jasmine said, just seeing the constant leveling up that folks are doing, you know, and especially with pattern creation tools like Candy Pad, who's another one of our partners. You know, it's just so, it's never been easier for artists to create their own designs and kind of do their own thing. And as I don't know if you know, but we hold a fuse bead competition a few times each year, and so every time just seeing the creativity leveling up, you know, everything from people using string lights to like light up their work, and you know, other electronics kind of intermingled in there. I remember there was one that kind of had like a fan as part of you know,
it was a Mega Man set.
Yeah. Really cool. And then you know, the 3D stuff, and just using it for cosplay, using UV glow specialty beads in really creative ways, and just there's always something new. So you know, every day we're looking at trends and talking with artists about what they need, and so you know, we've got a lot of kind of exciting things in the works and new accessories and kits and stuff that we're you know kind of working on. And you know, I think the next year is going to be really big for Top Tier Beads, and we've got a lot of good irons in the fire right now.
Irons?
Yes.
That'll be fun.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Awesome. Well, very good. Yeah, I haven't tried that the rainbow film. That's really neat. I know that people are going to want to try that. That's very cool. So what would you say is the most fun part of owning your business? I know you talked about a few things already, but if there's anything extra you want to add about owning your own business, like the fun side of things. Not quotes, but real fun. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So for me, really, it's just I'm the type of guy that just loves to solve puzzles. You know, to find a problem and kind of figure out all the steps that you need to get to the solution. And so, really, owning a business, there's never not another puzzle to solve, whether it's filling orders faster, making bead shopping easier, coming out with new products and developing them, and just figuring out how we can bring more joy to people at the end of the day. And I think really one of the best, most enjoyable things about working is just, the team that we work with, just being able to come in and work with them every day. That really, I think that's the best part about it.
We do have so much fun too, actually. We spend an unbelievable amount of time here, just talking about like Pokemon, all kinds of retro games, Castlevania. Justin is a big WoW player and RuneScape player. I've been a big RuneScape player myself, and we watch YouTube videos. Sometimes we watch your videos, Ryan. Every time it's like, oh my gosh, he's talking about us, and it's like, but we do have a lot of fun around here. That's a great answer, because I think our employees really are a huge part of the reason why we enjoy coming to work so much every day.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. It's a great working environment. Doesn't seem like work. It's fun. That's awesome. Very good.
So,
very good.
I guess as far as me and what's most fun for me, it's definitely connecting with our amazing community. Y'all know who you are, right? We have the most incredible fans and customers, and I genuinely could not imagine doing anything else. This is my life's passion, and specifically the Discord community. I have to say, like, anybody who's watching this that is on the Discord, just know I love talking with you every day. It is so much fun, and I love seeing all your art. So thank you for keeping me company throughout the day and just having fun with me. I know, Ryan, you're in the Discord server too, and you probably see him on there typing away every day.
Okay, so you talked about Fuse Bead Creations and your origin story of being a beader and selling. Would you like to share some of your projects?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Oh my gosh, these days, just full disclosure, these days I just don't have as much time to create as I'd like.
You're running a business.
Right. And that's the thing. Yep. The beautiful thing about fuse beading is that it's both relaxing and productive, and I would spend hours and hours just getting lost in it, just listening to podcasts and watching my favorite TV shows. It's just so wonderful. And, for obvious reasons, for you guys out there, I don't have as much time to do that anymore. It's a big responsibility, making sure we get you all the beads you need. But I would love to show you some of my pieces. So
yeah, everybody loves to see them.
Sure. And so for so many years I commissions. So most of my most impressive art is with my clients that commissioned it, right? But what I do have here are some really sentimental pieces for me. And so this is probably it. No, it is. It's not probably. This is absolutely my favorite thing I've ever made. So,
ooh, wow.
It is a piece that I made for Scott, actually, to celebrate our 1 month anniversary in 2018. Can you believe it?
Wow.
And so what this is it's actually a zoomed in view of just one tiny, tiny part of the Mandelbrot set, which is it's a complex mathematical shape that creates intricate and self-repeating patterns, and you call those fractal. You may have heard of fractal before. And so that's actually something that's really interesting to us. And so I made this pattern myself. I converted it from the source material, and it's by far the most difficult piece. Wait, hold on. Wait, how do I? Okay, this is by far one of the most difficult pieces I've ever made, especially because of how random everything is. Random by my eye, but not random by math. So
that is really interesting. I love that. It almost looks like ladders. Like there's a bunch of ladders that you can climb down, and there's a hole in the middle that's just going deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Pretty cool. Thank you. And so, as I mentioned previously, I also specialized in large fuse bead recreation, retro video game sprites. I've always been a huge Pokemon fan, so my two favorite ones that I've made are Charizard, obviously, best Gen 1 starter.
Oh, of course.
Don't at me, can't change my mind. And so, favorite starter for Gen 1. I really should make a Typhlosion because that's my favorite Gen 2 starter. And Suicune, which is my favorite legendary Pokemon. You know, you gotta love the dogs. Gotta love chasing them around. And Crystal specifically is my favorite.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
that's awesome.
Thank you. And I'd also like to share a Kirby set that I made as another gift to Scott. You know, it's from Kirby Superstar. So he's a huge fan of that game, and I love Kirby too. How can you not?
Yeah, oh, of course.
So adorable. So here we got these. I'm gonna hold these up.
Oh.
We got the little, and I picked all these. Little guy.
Very cool.
Little guy.
Oh.
We have so many of these. Let's see. We got this rocker here.
I love that.
It's like never ending.
Wow, there's more.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, how could you forget?
Oh.
Parasol.
Wow. I need to do a Kirby video.
Right?
Right?
So many Kirby sprites. I had no idea. So cool. And now, Scott, you guys share your pixel sprites.
You know, I have made a handful, yeah. So yeah, every time we have a new hire here, we have, you know, on their first day, they get to create their name tag. So this is my name tag, Scott.
Cool.
Somewhat ironically, I have not actually made one for myself, so maybe that.
Oh wow.
Maybe that'd be an interesting future live stream. But I can show you the ones our other employees made. So this is the one for Tori.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, and
look at that.
I actually used rainbow film for this too. Yeah, can we get your flashlight on this? Yeah, on the words. She loves the rainbow film. She's made several videos with it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, look at that. Fancy.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
This is one Michaela made, and actually this is completely freehand, so I was really impressed. And
oh wow!
Yeah, so she actually she works with dogs. She raises Australian Shepherds, and so she wanted to incorporate her love of dogs into this piece.
That's really good. That's impressive.
Maybe we should do a follow-up interview with them, right? Would that be?
Yeah, I'd love to.
I'm really so curious to hear what they have to say. And this is the one that Justin made.
Oh, there you go.
It's just so cool. Wow. I love it. You know, they all spent time, well, I guess with the exception of Michaela, because she made her own. But other than that, you know, they went on CandyPad and they found some cool designs that really resonated with them. And it was so much fun. Very cool. So much fun having them make this. And it's just a nice way to, you know, to tell them, hey, this is actually what you're selling. You know, it's not just beads.
Yeah.
It's art. Yeah. It's personal.
Yeah, Justin loves guitars, and it's always great. He's always whistling or humming a different song. You know, he's a great guy, very musical.
That's awesome. I have my guitar and my banjo in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've been playing guitar since high school, so I can definitely relate to that.
Nice.
So,
yeah, we're ukulele folk ourselves. We've been playing about 4 years, so we have a small little band with our neighbors. Just strum along once in a while by the fire. It's fun.
Very cool.
That would be
very cool.
Yeah, bring out our ukes and record a quick little thing at the end of this. It could be fun.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time. That'd be great. I love it. Okay, so you talk about the back end. How hard is it to manage the supplies? So if you have something happening like COVID, what do you do when you're not getting supplies in as a business? What do? You have to go out and say, okay, everybody, we didn't get anything in today. I'm not, you're not going to get your orders. Everything's delayed. What do you do? And hopefully you don't have to deal with that anytime soon, but what do you do? And what did you do before?
That is, You know, let's hope there's no tariffs or anything we have to worry about soon. But that is, you know, something we're looking at. We're always kind of looking at, you know, what the potential things are, and you know, because we do have to import things, that's always a consideration. But that's, you know, that's why we, you know, we're always planning ahead. You know, what we're doing, you know, what we do for our back-end processes is honestly kind of unheard of for a company of our size. So, you know, because it's so important for us to always remain in stock of things and, you know, do things so quickly and always be accurate. You know, I've really personally built out like an enterprise level database that tracks our inventory, purchasing, fulfillment, scheduling, accounting, and, you know, just takes all the data from all the different platforms we sell on and kind of centralize it. And so with that, I guess the answer to your question is really just planning ahead and, you know, buying things ahead of time, making sure that we just always have kind of a buffer. And that's one of the most important things. And again, just having that system that, you know, we have different triggers for different products, and it's kind of dynamic based on the current demand and the historical demand and all that type of stuff. And, you know, in addition to that, just maintaining, you know, we have pretty much a kind of a detailed guidebook for really everything we do in our company, picking orders, bagging beads, reconciling, everything in between. And, you know, we're always improving those things. This year we've done a lot to improve our, you know, our in-house bead bagging process and done a lot of automation and stuff there. And really our next big project is a new order picking method that should really ramp up our fulfillment times. And, you know, again, it just kind of comes back to having a good team. You know, it took us, it's really hard to find great workers, but, you know, when it really does pay off to have a team that really is, you know, reliable, hardworking, and fun-loving. And so that's really what makes it all possible, you know, just, and also, you know, working with suppliers like ArtCal. I mean, working with ArtCal has been such a joy, and, you know, it's great to work with them. And, you know, we've partnered with them on several things, and, you know, our rep is just so great. And so, you know, it really has been a joy. And, you know, I think just having all of those systems, processes in place, and having great people to run all those processes, I mean, it really, you know, there are always surprises, but as long as you stay a step ahead, it can really, you know, almost run itself.
Good. I mean, that's something that that I was thinking about, like, how do you guys get these beads out so quickly? And that makes sense. All the preparation you do, it really does pay off. And I know that it makes a difference when I've ordered from you guys. And I know that so many out there have told me, you know, I see it every day on Facebook almost. Oh, they were so fast, I got my beads. So it makes a huge difference because people are wanting to really be creative and finish their projects and not be left with, you know, those 10 beads or that one bead off, and then they ran out, you know. So. Oh
yeah, and this might be a little bit off topic for this section, but that is actually something that is really important to me. I viscerally know that feeling of like, oh my god, I miscalculated by like 100 beads, and now this is due, you know, like it's due for a client on Friday, and if I don't get these beads, you know, I'm a very empathetic person, and so that's exactly why we work so hard, and we've developed these very complicated processes, and we make sure to manage our inventory properly so we never run out of stock. Because when I get a customer messaging me, you know, at 4 o'clock on Friday, and they're like, hey, I need this order, I need it right now, please send it, and I'm already on it. You know, as soon as an order comes in, we get it out the door, and I'm like, Justin, hey, we got to really get that one finished, and he's like, you got it. It's that's just what we do.
Yeah, and I think that's really, you know, that's why we make a great team, and why we can, you know, offer things that the bigger companies don't, is because, you know, Jasmine has really imparted into me all the important things that, you know, a lot of other big companies, you know, they wouldn't necessarily run things exactly like we do, because, I mean, at the end of the day, our goal is really to just, you know, we're here to serve the customer, and there's like a lot of, you know, like just maintaining the inventory inventory of all these different colors. It is, you know, it takes a lot of investment to do that, but it is worthwhile because even if we're out of stock of one color, you know, it really does make a difference. So, you know, we have from the start just built this business with the customer absolutely in mind. And you know, I think that, yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, if there's ever a day where any tiny little thing goes wrong, like you just, you know, it's important. It's, you know, it hurts us on a deep level if anything ever goes wrong. So we've made so many, you know, stop gaps and so many, you know, kind of fail safes to make sure that, you know, just that everything always runs smooth, because we have, and we continue to see just with, you know, some of the other companies, it's like if you place an order and a bead's wrong, or if a bag's, you know, burst open or something, or if it takes 2 weeks to get there, or if you get your order and one bag is, you know, not there, it just really, I mean, it can really ruin your day and ruin your whole project. So it's, you know, it's important to us, really.
Good.
Good. It's impossible to state how important it is to us, actually. Scott can attest. I mean, even to this day, but especially, you know, when we first started, when we would run out of a color, I would freak out. I would cry, you know, because it is so important to me, and I've had that experience. And so whenever that happens, it's like, all right, guys, we've got to figure this out. Like, do we have any open bags? Do we have any shrink? What can we do? Of course, we're going to refund them. We're going to send it out. When it comes in, that's just what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, when you build a customer base and you build a certain reputation, you want to keep that reputation as long as possible. But, you know, everybody understands there are things that happen, and yeah, you respond, and that's the important thing, is that you respond. Because I've contacted companies before, not going to name any names, but they didn't really respond, and then all of a sudden the beads show up, and you didn't know that they were going to show up 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, because you asked that you were missing bags, and that makes a huge difference. And also that people know you're going to respond back to them, you know, because you have a great reputation. So, you know, you guys are doing all the right things.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, and that's another thing too. We are very accessible, right? I'm watching my Instagram and my Facebook, my messages all day, my emails. I'm just constantly checking, and the Discord. Of course, the Discord makes it so easy to get in touch with us. I mean, it is me. I am literally there every day typing away. So, you know, to our customers out there, please feel more than free to message us anytime. Questions, comments, compliments are nice. Whatever you have.
TopTierBeads does not have any bots, everybody. There are no bots.
No, they do not.
No AI here.
No.
How do you, I know you partner with Art Call, so how do you, are they your beads, or I know they have your name on them, so how's that work? My bigger question is, how do you differentiate from the other bead suppliers? So you do have a bead with your name on it, so how does that work?
How does that work? So
how does that work? So, and how do you differentiate from other suppliers?
Yeah, that's
because you have a branding.
Yeah, so, that's a really excellent question, and I'm glad we get to answer that too, because we get that a lot. Yes, our beads are the same beads as Art Cal, right? And so, but what we do is actually we work together with them. So we do have a partnership. And they send us the beads in bulk, and then what we do is we actually bag them in-house.
Gotcha.
Our employees' labor. So Michaela usually is over there most of the day. We have a machine that actually dispenses the correct amount of beads per bag, so it's very accurate, very precise. We bag them all in-house. Here's actually one of our bags before it's filled, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's already got the resealable seal.
And
then it opens at the bottom, see? And then we just fill the bag and we seal it, and then we actually created our own barcodes, and these barcodes are proprietary, so they belong to our company. They're not reused. And
Yeah.
Very
And I
cool.
guess, in terms of what differentiates us, we're not just refilling the beads for fun. I mean, really, there's a lot of reasons that we do it. And I guess the first thing is just that we can, Jasmine has been using Art Cal beads for pretty much her whole beading career. And so we know how quality they are. But we also know that, purchasing beads from overseas, regardless of how good they are at fulfilling it, it's tough because it's hard to ship things from overseas. It takes time, and if something does go wrong, if something's missing, it could be weeks before you get that product again or before you get replacement. And so that's part of it. But the other part is that we going back to just we are really customer first, and so we bag these ourselves because we have a really unique bag. So we have this little easy tear notch here because we know that beaters, we typically they'll just buy a bag, snip it open, pour it into a Ziploc bag, label that Ziploc bag, and then it's a whole thing.
And
but with this, it's easy tear.
Ask me how I know, right?
It's easy there, and then it has a nice resealable thing here, so you don't have to do anything. And we also worked really hard to, not just the barcodes, but just having a big name there, having it have all the names, just really making and building a brand that, can really relate to people.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said all that. That makes total sense. I can tell you that I did talk about this in one of my videos with you guys, or for you guys, but this type of bag experience is not the best experience. You have to do this deal, clothespin. So I don't have to clothespin this. I don't have to do that.
That's right.
And it's a small thing, but it's a big thing at the same time. So I'm very, very pleased with this. It's huge. It's huge.
Thank you for saying that.
And I also I love about our bags just the, how it's got the color front and center, and it's just really, it really shows off the color real nicely. We spent an inordinate amount of time just designing our logo and our packaging, and just, because, we want to build a brand that we are proud of and that the fused bead community can really relate to and love. And so that's really why we're here and why we're doing this is so that it can be the best experience for all of the bead artists.
And just to return to what you were saying, Ryan, actually about the resealable nature of our bags, it's kind of a funny story to share. So I guess, I don't know if you would say ethos, I'm not sure, but I guess one of the things that really makes this work for us is that Scott has the business mind, process mind, and then I have more of the creative mind and the empathetic sort of a feeling about I care about how people feel about our product. Is. And so really early on we were designing the design of our bag, which, by the way, we did actually design. We had a mock-up and everything, some was in writing and some of it was like Photoshop, and then we had our wonderful brand designer, Emily, with Future Dawn Designs, to put the finishing touches on it and make it very professional. But besides that, when we were making them, I thought to myself, Scott, can we put a resealable, like, zipper type thing on it? And his answer was no, we can't do that because it's a ridiculous thing to want to do for various reasons, right? And he's very, very fair for saying that.
And still is.
It still is. There are a lot
because
of
it works
things,
and it's good.
Yeah, like for example, other companies, ones I won't name, they do the thing where they have all their bags on a big roll, right? And it goes through a machine that automatically bags them. And that's something that we can't do because we have the resealable zipper on our bags. So it makes it more difficult for us, but hearing you and our other customers just appreciate what we've done, it really makes it all work
Yeah.
So thank you, Scott, for allowing me to do that. And actually, that scenario has played out several times in the creation of our business, and I think it's important to our success.
Yeah, I agree. And, I guess the other thing to mention too is that we, this is kind of our, our first foray is, bagging these beads and all that. But as we mentioned, we came out with rainbow ironing film last year, and we have several products. I mean, some that we've even been prototyping, working on for literally years, and so there's a lot of additional products that we are working on and coming out with, and we're really excited to move into those things as well in the coming months, years.
Very cool. That's exciting. And that shows me that you guys are trying to grow as a business and trying to be innovative, and that makes a big difference. So that again shows that you're passionate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's today's conversation with Top Tier Beads. Remember, that is part 1 of 2 parts. What did you think? Did you learn a lot? I sure did learn a lot by sitting down with Jaz and Scott, because they have so much great information, and what a wonderful story about how they started their business. I really enjoyed talking with them. And if you enjoyed this episode, stay tuned next week for part 2. And if you stuck around for the whole video today, first off, thank you so much for that. And if you love my content and you want to see more perler beading awesomeness, then make sure to like this video and subscribe for future videos. I love doing this, and I love building this community of perler beaters. I appreciate all of you. I pray that you have a wonderful day. And until next time, Top Tier Beads says, happy beading.